Welcome. This is Gemini season. Let's Hi. Welcome to Archangel Revelations with me, Biani, and welcome to Gemini season. And happy belated birthday to all you Geminis. I also am a Gemini, so I understand you very, very much, Geminis. I understand you very, very much. I'm a Gemini sun, and I also have Gemini in my chart somewhere else. I just can't remember off the top of my head. But this is going to be the intuitive part of your reading, where I'm going to give you the intuitive messages that I've been getting for the whole year. This is an annual intuitive reading for 2024, between now, June of 2024, going into May of 2025. So I'm going to put this down while I give you the intuitive messages. You can go ahead. You are an air sign, and that is your jam. We are air signs, so Gemini, Libra, Aquarius in the house, but Gemini, we are an air sign. Magnetic field that is right now balancing the twins is a difficult feat, but you gems open the opportunity because you're moving on from past mistakes. So build upon this Jupiterian energy. So your focus is upon living life. Right now we're in a Jupiterian in which our first parents dwelt, Adam and Eve, in contentment by being grateful. Okay? And look at the world as it is and make it your paradise. Make it your place of pleasure. Because it's all in your mind of how you perceive your life to be and how you perceive your home to be. If you live in a home that you don't take very good care of, you're not going to feel like it's paradise now. But if you take your time and take care of all the little things and not take it for granted, you're going to think of it as a paradise, as a place of Eden. And I wanted you to think about that, because that is the greatest thing you can do, is invest in this dream of this garden, of this home, of this paradise. All right. Also, you are a gorgeous butterfly, Gemini, that has just emerged from its cocoon and is extremely valuable. And someone is urging you to commit. And the universe is giving you an amazing nudge. So be honest about your attachments here, Gemini, this year. What you're attaching yourself to. Is it good for you? Is it toxic? Or is it in the best interest of your highest good? Okay? So be honest with yourself about what you attach yourself to. It could be a person, or it could be a place, or it could be just a thing. What you're passionate about. And these are all the good messages here. So I want you, Gemini, to pay attention to your dreams this year. There are a lot of messages in your sleep while you're sleeping. Even a lover is going to send you a message in your dreams. This dream energy of the Seven of Cups, about dream dimension into the material world. You are going to gain a sense of clarity. There is an omen that is going to come to pass with this fated energy in meeting the man of your dreams. So you're going to dream about a person, and then in real life, you're going to meet them. So almost like you're manifesting in your dreams. Whatever you dream about, you manifest it to come to reality. And also, this person is going to be a soulmate or confidant. It's going to be a person with whom you share a secret or a private matter with, trusting them not to repeat it to others. And by testing them in this manner, you're going to find out that they're loyal to you, that they're honest with you, and that they're reliable, and that you can consider them a good friend. And this is very important to you, that the soulmate can be your confidant and that they can pass the test of loyalty, honesty, and reliability. Now, many fortunes are on your side with soulmates. There will be quite a few soulmates. And one of them may even be an unpaid debt, like they might owe you money. One of them, you may gamble with which one is right for you. But this is going to be a new experience that you are ready for here, Gemini. I even see that you might marry this person in a hand fasting ceremony in 2027. And I don't know if you know anything about hand fasting, but you put your hand with another person's hand and then they tie it around and then you're bonded for life type of thing. You're going to be bound. And even there may be a physical move that will bring you a lot closer together. Like that person will move closer to you. And this love will inspire you to do things that you've never done before, Gemini. So that is a beautiful message for you. That is going to be a lover that will get you out of your shell. And I want you to keep in mind here that Qigong is this. Oh my goodness, I accidentally pressed something there. Just make sure that it's still recording. You still live? Okay. So this Qigong is there's this thing in Qigong where they call Qigong sword fingers, right? They go like this, sword fingers. To heal yourself and others, use your sword fingers. So this is a very healing modality through Gandhi. And he gave this message that love is the most powerful source of the people in this world. Love is the most powerful source that people possess. So, us human beings, superpower is love itself, is love. And for you to be able to harness that and express love in a healthy way is going to be your superpower this year. But you are undergoing a lot of healing using different modalities. The sword fingers is just one of them. There's lots of healing modalities that you're going to be using this year between 2024 and 2025. And you may be back on your medication and giving it a go for some of you, only because you feel that you can stock up and have it just in case. You know intuitively that you're going to need it and have your wits about you this year. This year is going to be significant about you being in the right mindset. You may discover a more holistic approach using plant medicines and herbs and household kitchen ingredients and teas. Because it has been a mystery here about your health, a quandary of some sort, which is a state of perplexity or uncertainty over what to do in a difficult situation. So you might be having a difficult situation currently with your health. That could be physical, mental, or emotional. And you are coming to terms with how to heal yourself. Even to the point where you have noticed that some pharmaceutical drugs are making you even worse, that are making you even more dependent or more insufficient, like not living a very sufficient lifestyle because of the side effects of these drugs that are causing you to feel older than you really are, Gemini. So you're doing some research. It's been quite of a mystery, and you even feel like it might be a conspiratorial thing, which is not unheard of, and you're not crazy. But yes, those things are happening. Those things are occurring at this time and this year. So you are getting signs about that. And you are also getting signs to get a boat or flotation device and keeping your home nearby in case of a flood, like a tsunami situation or an earthquake type of plan. You are getting nudges by the spirit, by your higher power, or whoever that might be, by God, whom is my higher power, and by spirit. So be aware of other things like distractions on the news. And if you are contributing energy towards that, like, are you feeding the animal? Are you feeding the machine? Think about that. How is this information helping you? How is it taking away? Okay, think of that. Are you contributing energy towards it? Is it a positive thing? What prevents you from being more confident? Think about that. So I would like you to articulate and express a higher standard of thinking. Now, this is going to have a paramount effect on your future by the way you articulate and express your thinking. And is it a higher standard as others have expressed their way of thinking? That could be very much a superpower of yours that you are mastering this year. And I want to give a big shout out for this message was by Gemini Brown Astrology. And his June 2024 Gemini season started with the luckiest Sagittarius full moon, May 23rd of 2024. So starting with the surge of powerful energy from the sun, tuning into the moon and the earth, we got the Jupiter-Venus conjunction. And we are staying spiritually grounded at this time. So we see Neptune and Taurus, and during that phase, which we just came out of, Neptune and Taurus, there was a lot of innovative things happening, trying new things, being innovative. So I hope you really harnessed that energy and came up with some innovative ideas at that time, Gemini. Also, there will be abundance that will apply to your emotional healing. So there's going to be a lot of emotional healing you're doing this year. And for some people, there's vindication here, something that just feels right and just. So stay in the energy of the sun, Gemini. Don't fall into the lust trap, because you will be sitting pretty during Cancer season if you do not give it up, okay? The lust trap, because we just went through that period of passion with the Venus. And during that time, there was very murky time. Emotions were very lackluster, like the first blush of the summer type of feeling. Things are very transient, but there is a very strong sexual desire happening here of lust. So if you can fight it, Gemini, come Cancer season, which we're just started, you're gonna be sitting pretty. You know, maybe there was a temptation here. If you had message for some people, not everyone, only some. So don't take it as an offense, but you know, it is what it is. So I know, personally speaking, I just did all mine and I'm clean to go. I'm squeaky clean here. No STDs for me, thank God. But, you know, I'm abstinent most of the time. I'm practicing that. So that's part of like the spiritual ascension journey, is staying abstinent, keeping your vessel clear of toxins, of, you know, sexual immortality, stuff like that. So I practice that myself, but not everyone's like me. But yeah, abundance applies to emotional healing by you not giving yourself away to people. I am so sorry about that, guys, y'all. It is hot out here in Florida, and apparently my phone shut off because it overheated. So I'm taping this on my device and brought it inside. Okay, so I'll give you the rest of the messages in here. and we'll go from there. Okay. So just bear with me. Let me see if I could set this up so I could give you the messages without having to hold this device, which would be easier for me. All right. Can I do it this way? No, it won't let me turn it. All right. And I'm looking all shiny and huge, but I don't care. So, yeah, I don't know where we left off, but obviously God wants me to give you the message to watch out for the sun. Don't get overheated. Don't leave your device out in the sun. Don't leave yourself out in the sun. Like, get plenty of water, hydration on your skin. Even like try to avoid dehydration because it's going to be a hot one this summer. So do your best to stay cool. And I'm not really sure where I left off, but I might repeat some of these messages, but they're kind of short, so I'll try to keep it to a minimum. So be aware of distractions with the election season coming. There's going to be a lot of chaos and stuff. Try to keep away from the distractions and try to focus more on your prepping, on your materials, on what you need to be in focus with. All right. Also want to give a shout out to Amber Khan because I always check her around Gemini season because we're both Geminis. Actually, Amber Khan and I share the same sun, moon, and rising sign, which is kind of strange. But yeah, the quietest revolution, that's what she's known as on YouTube. And I did get a couple messages from her. June 2024 Gemini Sun and Rising reading. So one of the messages she gave was the world. Now, the world is a closing of a cycle, of a circle. The world, it goes around in a circle, and we're coming to the closing of a circle where security and material stability can be achieved at this time, and it could last a lifetime. So whatever security and stability that you're achieving materially at this time is capable of lasting a lifetime if you start it now, if you prep now, if you get it solid and etched in stone or whatnot, or get it written, or whatever you have to do to make it permanent. So right now you're ready and capable to carry a vision that you've had of strength and develop that gravity that says that I have planted the seed and have done the work, and to see your accomplishments and achievements and notice that this abundance applies to your emotional healing as well. And for some people, they are establishing luck and understanding that people who don't like you actually need you the most. And particularly a Capricorn energy here, that you are making a large, or that they are making a large effort to leech off of you, off of your energy here, Gemini. So you're establishing luck and realizing this relationship that you have with this person, and that they need you just as much as you need them, or vice versa, type of deal. So you're making adjustments, necessary adjustments. And this could be a passion. This person, this Capricorn, could be a passion of yours. It could be a person, place, or thing. a boss even. And I see you making peace or amity, developing a friendly relationship. And this actually reminds me of the movie Allegiant or Divergent, which is part of the Divergent series, and they have Insurgent. And amity was one of the fractions that was called amity, where they just go around making peace with everybody. And I see that's something that you are actually considering doing as well. Just making peace with this person or place or thing. I see here that I see you meditating and holding your palms up towards the universe. And I see you writing something down that is about to happen in the future due to this meditation. So you're holding your palms up to the universe for abundance, for, a sign. And I see you holding your hands up and receiving it. And it's actually information, divine information. And as you get the download, you come out of the meditation. I see you writing it down really quick so you don't forget it. Now, this is very divine knowledge you're getting from source, from your higher power. So yeah, it's definitely a sign, a message from the universe. And it comes to you through meditation. Also, and that was one of the messages I missed. So I'm glad I touched upon it. So a lot is happening throughout your emotional and physical way, in a way that you have never experienced before. So emotionally, physically, you're experiencing these energetic impulses that you've never felt before. And a lot is happening. People are going to experience your energy like never before as well. So when you come into a room, when you step into a room, normally people don't notice you. Well, people are going to notice you this time because there's this energy about you, Gemini. And it's going to be infectious, and it's going to be noticeable. Also see a solemnness about you this year. Now, with this solemnness, a solemnness means like a strong desire to fall asleep, okay? But in this case, it could be caused by drugs that you're taking or getting inadequate sleep. So there might be a period where you're going to have insomnia or have a hard time falling asleep, or just the opposite. You may be falling asleep all over the place, like all the time. So depending on what kind of Gemini you are. Oh, and that's my son. He's the Capricorn in my life. Liam, he's exciting. So you might hear him in the background playing his video games. I apologize. That's why I was going to take this message outside, but it overheated my phone. So we make do with what we got, right? Now on to the hard messages, Gemini, for 2024 going into 2025. The not so good. So remember how I said pay attention to what's in the sky? So yeah, you might very well be noticing cosmic rays like the aurora borealis. I want to give you a tip on that. Just remember that they're very beautiful to look at, but they are very radioactive. So if you decide to go and walk your dog in the middle of the day or middle of the morning or whatever, Keep in mind that you cannot see these cosmic rays unless you take a picture of it with your phone. Your phone can detect them more than the naked eye could. So keep that in mind before you go walking your dog in the morning. Maybe you want to take a picture of the sky and see what kind of auroras that you might be witnessing, because they're happening, guys. Cosmic rays everywhere right now. The sun is going ballistic. So keep that in mind. Remember that yellow auroras are not as bad as green. Green are like in the mid radiation level, but red auroras, do not walk your dog or do not go outside to see it. If you're seeing pink and red auroras, stay in your house. Like, save yourself from cancer, radioactive activity that's happening in the sky if you can. Pay attention to, the geomagnetic storms that we're receiving right now, because they are taking their toll on our bodies, mentally, physically, emotionally as well. It's all related. It's all related. That's why when people say, oh, climate change and the earth is warming, yeah, those things are happening. It's not we're doing. It's just a cycle that we need to kind of adapt and learn to work around, and we have no control over what's happening out in the universe. Okay, this was all told to us through the Bible and has already been predicted and sworn in. We just got to prepare for it. We're like fleas on a dog, and the dog is ready to take a bath and shake itself. So if you want to think of it that way, don't really think of it, my car, it like lets out too much fuels. No, that's minute. That's like nothing. That's not going to change like what's happening with our sun. You know what I mean? So like all this hocus pocus mumbo jumbo about climate change and global warming, it's all just a way to get money out of you, to drain you financially, so that way you're screwed in the end. Like, really, if you really want to do something about it, you really want to take action, start building a bunker, start storing food, start planting plants in pots. You know what I mean? If you really want to do something, start being more self-reliant, self-sufficient, and stop relying on the government for anything. Really, I mean, do we really need half of the crap that they're pushing? Do we really need to buy into that? It's all a distraction, guys, from you preparing for what's bigger that's happening, like preparing yourself from radioactive storms. Storms are going to come. Guess what? Hurricane season's going to be a bitch. Like, a lot of people are going to get flooded. A lot of people are going to get dislocated from their homes and have to relocate. Like, there's a lot of changes that are going to happen, and you have to prepare yourself for those changes. Like, are you above sea level? Like, these are important questions to ask. Those are things you could do something about. Okay, so I want you to keep that in mind, that balancing the difficult with the graciousness of the paradise that we are given by God, by Eden. How are we taking care of the land? Are we doing what we were set to do? Are we having babies, women? Are we tending to the land, masculines, feminines? Whether you're a man or female, you still got to tend to the land. We still got to do it. Okay? And how are we doing that? Our monies, is it being used wisely? Are we paying into an insurance that when a hurricane hits, are we going to get it paid back? Is it going to be worse or better? I mean, like, you got to really fraction out all these things. Is it, because I know in my neck of the woods, we just got hit by Ian, and the money that we paid into the insurance companies it was corrupt. Like, they took off with the money and nobody got their roofs fixed, and there's still houses with no roofs on them around here. It's like, is it really worth it? You know, you got to think about it. I mean, is it worth it to pull all your money and put it into gold? I mean, is it worth it to put all your money into Bitcoin? Like, these are questions that people are really seriously considering and really will play a factor in your future, in our future. in our existence. So think about those possibilities. What is it really? Is it sucking you dry, or is it really putting towards something fruitful? You got to really consider those things, because when push comes to shove, yeah, the insurance company might pay out the first time, but what about the second time? What about the third time? What about the fourth time? Because there will be other times. Because we're getting to a tipping point right now, a climactic point where the world is changing very drastically, and we're just along for the ride. Not just the world, but the whole solar system. I mean, people like to stick their head in the sand and not pay attention, but I'm paying attention, and I'm pretty sure a lot of you are. If you're a Gemini and you're a thinker like me, and if we don't stop every fucking thingy, and we can't sleep because we think too much, like, if you're anything like me, then you're thinking about these things. You're thinking about these things, especially if you have kids and a family, and if you know, and you've made investments in things that are like probably going to sink. And so, yeah, we're thinking about those things. So for some of you, you may even start acquiring a green thumb and start growing things, because you're thinking about the future. How am I going to feed myself? How am I going to feed my family? So start growing things. Yeah, be aware of the distractions that are, just up in the air. The people are just blowing steam, and they're not getting any results or making any movement. It's just steam. And so pay attention. For some people, actually, this is advice, okay? Take it or leave it, but don't feel compelled to lean on anyone or feeling the need to be codependent on anyone's energy. This cycle needs to be broken. You need to become more self-reliant. No longer should people be codependent upon you, and no longer should you be codependent upon them. Now we are learning to be interdependent, independent upon ourselves, being self-reliant. And you need to teach others how to be that way as well, because a lot of people have been depending upon you, Gemini, and you know it. And it's time that you kind of like cut that off. Let them know, listen, times are changing. Things are tougher. Food is twice as much as it was before. Inflation is happening everywhere. You can't afford to take care of everyone else. So just let them know, listen, I love you. Soak in the good vibes. I'm happy to help you. But you need to stay afloat. You need to be able to let go and just float on your own. You can't, and they need to be able to do the same. Okay, Gemini? Sometimes tough love is love. Okay? But I see you moving quite fluidly throughout your life. But perhaps a trauma is haunting you. Something traumatic that happened in the past. Maybe it's not even something that happened in this life. Perhaps it's something that happened in past lives. But you are emptying the cycle by breaking connections that are not deeply solidifying. Noticing that people who are dragging you down and they're not solid with you, that they're wishy-washy, they're in one foot and out the other. Those relationships are not solidifying. Those relationships are kind of like daunting, and which you see a lot of your relationships are, unfortunately. Most relationships are daunting like that, like people are not committed. So right now, you're cutting all relationships that are uncommittal off, and noticing that, you are in a one is all kind of mind frame. Like if you are with me, you're either with me or against me. So if you're with me, we are one, and we take care of all. that I have. We are one, and I take care of all that you have. One is all, where we are committed and we are in it as one. As one love for all people, for all children, for one love revolution, which I like to preach a lot too, because we are in a very revolutionary kind of movement happening globally. So I could see that as well. And you want to make connections that coincide with that way of thinking, not the opposite. So break relationships with, be a cycle breaker, for instance. Geminis are great, notorious for this, like who see a cycle that's not working, a repeating, repetitive, insane cycle. Well, that's when Geminis like to go, wait a minute, put on the brakes. We're not doing this anymore. This ain't working. You know, like that's Gemini's place. Gemini's place is to say, guess what? I'm done. This ain't working. This ain't solidifying us. This ain't making things come into fruition. You're not bearing any fruit with this cycle that you're doing. You're just going on and on and on with the same vicious momentum and getting nowhere. So I see you getting over that, because you've seen from past experiences and past lives that doesn't work. So not only are you a cycle breaker, Gemini, you're a generational curse breaker, where we're seeing things that are going down and people are falling for it because they have been misled by devil, Satan, Lucifer, Dissel. And so you see the pattern. You've noticed the pattern for a very long time, and you're just like, listen, tough love is love. I don't care if it might come across a little harsh. It's still love nonetheless. You see something, you guys are like driving yourselves crazy. You're doing the same thing, repeating over and over, getting nowhere. Like all you're trying to do is enlighten people, Gemini, and bring awareness to a difficult situation that could be made better if people would be aware of their unproductivity. And for instance, if you see somebody you care about and they're smoking cigarettes all the time and they're making themselves sicker, and they're like, you know, you're not going to encourage it. You're not going to keep going to the store and buying them cigarettes, are you? No. You're going to say, no, I'm sorry. I love you, but I'm not going to feed your addiction that's killing you. And then every time they do it, you're going to draw attention, or you're going to be like, I'm sorry if you don't like it, but I don't, you know, you want to make yourself sick and you want to kill yourself. That's fine. Just do it outside. Don't smoke around me. You know, like make it, you got to make it obvious. And, you know, maybe they might not like you. Maybe they might not want to hear it. Maybe they just want to smoke until they die. But still, regardless of the fact, when it's affecting your health and your child's health and everyone else's health in the household, because you're the one that wants to sit there and smoke in your bedroom all day and inhale your inhaler. You know, like it's like the messages that they're getting from their higher power are not getting through to you. It's like, hello, McFly, is anybody in there? You know, sort of feeling. It's just like, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And, you know, that's sometimes the serenity prayer comes in handy. But yeah, you're going to be dealing with people like that, Gemini, this year, because some people are just stuck in their ways. And honestly, they've given up. They really have. They've given up on themselves. They've given up on life. They've given up on everybody and everything. And you could just tolerate so much. You can only tolerate so much. Okay. This is a message that I got from the Rare Gazelle, Miss Remy. Shout out to Miss Remy and her Gemini closing out a long standstill. Your world after stillness. A lover makes their decision. Okay, so I was intrigued by the title because, yes, I can relate about closing a long standstill. I've been in like this hermit mode myself for many years now. And so with the closing of that comes a lover, or a lover makes their decision. Now, I didn't quite get like the grasp on the lover part, but yeah, who doesn't need a little love in their life? So anyways, her message here is you may be driven to Nordic Viking imprint, such as 1899, the number 1899 and 222. She saw a doorway with 222 on it, in which I have seen also myself. But in this message of the doorway, she was hearing the song, I only have eyes for you. And I know that song. Through this song, Spirit is sending love messages. So you're receiving love messages through songs from your lover. Not only are you dreaming about them, but you're hearing these messages through songs. Also got the name Tom. Well, she got the name Tom, I should say, Miss Remy. And she says this person might have the name Tom, and they're moving forward from an energy that you didn't think you could recover from, or you're moving forward, Gemini, from an energy that you didn't think you could recover from with this Tom. You are doing lots of shadow work due to this. You had your awareness open to the past and have been still, but you're closing out a long duration of stillness. The hanged man position, and silence was the first step of growth. So while you're in the standstill, you were witnessing visions or past lives with this person. Maybe you don't know them yet. Maybe you haven't met them yet, but you sense them. You sense them physically, emotionally, mentally. Okay? So you actually been witnessing the emotional depth, this emotional depth with this person during dusk and dawn times, like during the sunset times and the sun rising times during dusk and dawn. You feel this energy of rebirth, of regeneration forming. And this has brought you peace in a sense. I feel before, maybe like 6 or 7 years ago, you had a hard time sleeping during these time periods where you would stay up thinking about them. But now you're able to sleep peacefully. Instead of being like thinking constantly nonstop, like those thoughts have subsided and you're able to rest more peacefully. It's almost like you've broken the cycle of overthinking about them, and you're moving forward from that energy of obsessively feeling them and thinking about them. So I don't know if that's a good thing or bad thing, but it's bringing you peace. So I guess it's a good thing. But you are feeling the empty right now, that feeling of emptiness. And you're taking responsibility for it and accountability and repairing a connection within yourself. And you're harnessing an energy within your stillness. And you've probably been doing this for about 6 to 20 years. Believe it or not, you've become a master of this, Gemini, through the void. Moving through the void, you've actually were able to get through it and move forward and unleashing. By getting through the void, you unleashed alchemy into the world through a new level of consciousness. And you got this filled with more light and brightness within you. And you're just able to overcome that void of the hermit, of darkness, of depth, of the shadow work. And you've overcome the shadow work in aspect of that, but you still feel this other person who's doing the shadow work now. And so even though you've gone through the void and you've gone at the end of it, you still feel a slight tug being pulled at you by this other person who's still stuck in it, if that makes any sense. But yeah, that's exactly what's happening. So your lover, this person, Tom or whoever, is actually going through an ego sublimation, the dark night of the soul, the shadow work. And right now, they're not shining in their true authenticity yet. They're still being fake with themselves, like not really being honest yet with themselves. They're still wearing a mask and still not willing to do the work. They're still stuck in that phase. So you feel that sometimes. Here you are living in your authenticity the best of your ability, and you still see yourself at times slipping into the same patterns of the being inauthentic because of this person. So it's pulling on your energy. But they're going to send you a message through your dreams. So, and they're going to be your soulmate and confidant, or they are. I almost feel like they are your twin flame. And I don't want to like throw that around lightly, but it's the only energetic expression of this type of energy that I could relate it to. So, twin flame or soulmate, however you choose, because you could choose not to be with your twin flame. You could choose to diss them if they're just going to keep playing games, which it seems like they are, and move on with someone who will not play games and will be more genuine and trustworthy. Because, no offense, but this person has some work to do. They still are probably like stuck in their old patterns, their old ways, smoking their cigarettes, drinking their bourbon, you know, sleeping around with every Tom, Dick, and Harry. So there's that, unfortunately. But it did say that you'd be getting married in 2027, so who knows, maybe they'll come around and get it together in a flash. Anything can happen. Because you've already put in the work, so all they need to do is meet you at your level, like catch up to you spiritually. And I do feel like this is your beloved one, a sacred connection, like a heavenly sacred connection, like Adam and Eve. Like you two were made for one another. God made you for one another. But for some odd reason, you just haven't crossed paths yet. And so there's that. And I want to get more information on that, who this person is. And I got this really cool deck, Gypsy Witch deck. Yeah, Gypsy Witch deck, which is a Nordic deck, I think. Gypsy Witch fortune-telling playing cards. And they kind of look like this. It's a really old, ancient, like this is an old deck, but yeah. And I want to get us some ideas on who this person could be that Rimi's talking about. So we get the masculine and feminine we're talking here. Oh, wow. They're really shuffled up good. Let's shuffle them some more. Can't even find the masculine and feminine in this deck. It should be number 18 and 19, I think. Number 18 and 19. You're lucky because I usually don't do this, but I got an extra deck, so I'm just going to go with it. Here's 19. 19 is the distinguished gentleman whose fortune is being told. Well, it's not necessarily true. But yeah, I want to find out who this distinguished gentleman is. And what was that, number 19? I need number 18 now. There's 18. Card represents the lady whose fortune is being told. And all other cards here. So I take those two out. And then I ask, please, Father God, in the name of Jesus, give me Biani, the reader, the messages for Gemini, Sun, Moon, Rising, and Venus going into 2024, going into 2025. Is this going to be a positive thing? Let's see. Are they going to come in this year? Let's find out. Yes. No. Yes. Yes. The Joker says yes. So yes, this person's going to come in this year. Oh, shoot. And let's see, who are they going to be? Who are they going to be? Tell me a little bit about this masculine. All right, so it says here, I'm going to do it all the way around. Okay. So it says here, and I could do a really quick flip over Rooney. So here's the masculine right here, number 19. So it says here, roses indicate beauty and rugged health. Okay, so this guy is pretty beautiful and rugged. And the sun near signifies happiness and popularity. He's going to be popular and happy. It says near snakes, mice and dark inner side of clouds presents vexation. Oh, near snakes and dark clouds, vexation. What does that mean? What is this? There's no snakes. I don't see no snakes, and I don't see no clouds. So I think you're good. This man's going to be happy, and he's going to be popular. Popular and happy. That's cool. Oh no, what happened? All right, so then, what's this say? The tree represents good health, near flowers, fulfillment of highest hopes. So he's going to be in good health. Oh, that's good. That's good. Very good. Good health. Also, the order denotes honor and recognition of labor, near 48, a sure sign of business success. Oh, do we have 48 nearby? No. No 48s. Nope. Not in this whole spread, there's no 48. So doesn't look like business success here, but does say that honor and recognition of labor. So he's going to be honorable for what he has put in for his work and good recognition. But as far as business success, no, business is not going to be successful this year. It's for this person. Also, the scythe presages disappointment and when near the coffin, early death. Oh, he might be disappointed in something. But it's not near the coffin, thank God. I don't see no coffin nearby. So that's a good. All right, so he's not going to die, but he might be disappointed in something. All right, now with the letter is a good sign of good tidings when near, and when touching indicates unexpected good fortune. Oh, it is touching. It's touching the man. So he's going to be very fortunate. Good fortune is going to come his way with this letter. Whatever the letter might be, it's going to bring good fortune. And it is touching the man. So yeah, very fortunate, very wealthy, very, person's going to be popular, hard worker, stuff like that, and getting recognition and accolades for that. So there's that. And then we got this. The mountains nearby indicate the presence of a mighty energy. Ooh, he's going to have a lot of energy. Mighty energy. Like a mountain. High. The birds signify dire misfortune and fierce enemies when near. Uh-oh, he's going to have some enemies. If far away from the person with 7, 16, 12, or 22 between, a chance to avert evil spell. Avert the evil spell. Oh, there's an evil spell upon him. 7, 16, 12, and 22. I don't see 7, 16, 12, or 20. Oh, I see a 12. Okay, so there is a 12 here that was in the corner. And that one says, number 21, the stork denotes chance of change of residence for the better. Sooner or later, according to the distance which it lies from the person. Oh, so basically, yes. Okay, so this isn't very near, close by, but it's in your frame. So the bird signifies dire misfortune, but if you move away from that person, if this man with the stork, if he gains distance from that person, that misfortune will dissipate, I guess, is what it's saying. If he moves, if he changes residence. If he changes residence and moves far away from the person who's giving him, that's a fierce enemy of misfortune. So he moves away from the enemy. He will be able to avert the evil spell that this person's going to try to put on your masculine here. All right, so we got all the inners. Now let's get the out. You got a lot of 5s here. You got 5 in every corner. And 5 on 2 corners. 5 on 2 corners here. So you got the 5. What does that mean? 5 of diamonds. So the anchor denotes successful ventures in business and love. And surrounded by 11, 13, 29, 30, 32, 35. Breach of trust near the dog. Fidelity of the one you love. Okay, are we seeing a dog here? Is that the dog? No, that's a lion. No, it's not. Oh, wait a minute. Yes, we are seeing the dog. Oh, sweet. So the dog is right above it. So I will say that the anchor denotes successful ventures in business and love. I would say this is more love related, okay? Because it says if it's near the dog, fidelity of the one you love. So fidelity, is that a good thing? Fidelity of the one you love, is that a good thing? I don't know. Gotta look that word up. Not really sure if fidelity is a good thing. But it does say number 27 that the dog, if near, represents true friends. If distant and surrounded by clouds, beware of unsuspected enemies. Yes. And it was right next to the enemy card. So yeah, beware of this enemy. This dog signifies that if it's near true friends, which I don't see any true friends near this person, this person needs to be aware of unsuspecting enemies at all times. I think because you got the mountain, well, not necessarily the birds, the roses. What's above it? Interesting. All right, so this was above it. The clover leaf is a bearer of good tidings, but if near clouds, it denotes great chagrin. If, however, number 2 does not lie near 29 or 28, the chagrin will be of short duration and happiness will follow. So, according to this is number 33. But where's number 2? And you don't have, oh yeah, 2. That's the guy. 29 or 28. Oh, there's 2. No? Okay, good. So it'll be a short duration of chagrin. Yeah. All these bad, like, enemy kind of feelings. But, you need someone this person needs someone loyal like you. And I think because they realize now that they can't trust a lot of these people that are surrounded by them, you're loyal, maybe they will see your value. So hopefully that will come about. Number 42. Amour is a sign that someone is looking at you with great love and longing. Oh, see, and that's probably you looking at them, Gemini. You're looking at them with love and longing. And so, number 10, the pig, whether near or far, is an omen of phenomenal luck and a great abundance, high honors, and all ambition attained. Wow. So they're getting high honors. Phenomenal luck, this person. The moon, when near, is a good omen. It predicts fortune. When distant, an exposure of your secrets. Oh, and it is distant. So there will be exposure of this person's secrets this year. And then the stork. And I already told you that one. So I see a change of residence for the better with this person. So that hopefully will give you some idea of who this person is. They're strong, they're popular, they're lucky, they're fortunate, but they do have their guard up because they're around enemies all the time. Oh, and the lion, I forgot about that. The lion presages a sudden shock from bad news. Oh, and this person might have bad news coming this year due to exposure of their secrets with the moon card. But overall, they're going to flee by leaving, making distance between them and those people who are their enemies. And they will anchor in ventures and businesses and love deals with by being. Now I gotta look up the fidelity word. If that's a good or a bad thing, because it is near the dog. So I don't know if it's being faithful to someone or not being faithful, but yeah, you gotta be careful with this person. It says the anchor denotes successful ventures in business and love, and surrounded by 11, 13, 29, 30, 31, 35 will present a breach of trust. But near the dog, which it does have, will present fidelity of the one you love. So I'm guessing that you would be loyal to the one you love. That's what I'm guessing. So by them being loyal to the one they love, this is a good card because it doesn't have any of the other breaching factors. So this person, you can trust them with your love. And that's important because they can be loyal. They could be this loyal companion, the dog. And so the dog, if near, represents true friends. If distant and surrounded by clouds, beware of unsuspected enemies. Because it's distant from the man, he needs to beware of the unsuspecting enemies. And this is the enemy card right here. So it's all together. Maybe he even has a dog, possibly, who's loyal to him. This person. And there will be a love message given to you, and it will bring good fortune, unexpected good fortune to them and to you. So there's that. Yeah, so hopefully this has given you some clarity on who that person, that lover, sort of say, is. Now yeah, I get it, Gemini. Our love life has sucked lately. And I can vouch for that. My love life has sucked as well. And it's really hard sometimes to hear that someone new is coming in and then they don't come in, and then it kind of like, yeah. It's kind of like, don't settle. Don't settle, Gemini, because there are a lot of suitors that are coming your way, and a lot of them are not worth your time and energy. But hopefully this masculine right here, the dream lover, come and rescue me. Take me up, take me down, take me any way you want to, baby, now. That Mariah Carey song just popped into my head. Dream lover. You might want to look into that. That's could be a message as well. So songs are messages, you might find that, and signs through synchronicities, numbers are messages too. So I'm just going to check to see if I have any messages here, speaking of. All right. I don't see any. Why don't I ever get any messages, guys? Nobody love me? Nobody love me? It'd be nice if I got some comments, some messages, and thumbs up, and like this video if you can. And I'm sorry it's so long, but because it's phone overheated. So I wasn't able to really. But stick around, Gemini, for part 2 for your tarot reading. That was just a sample reading. The real reading is coming in part 2. Okay. And I love you. Jesus in me loves you. Peace in the Middle East. And please do me a favor and stop fighting. Stop with the war if you can. Stop feeding the machine. Stop buying into the propaganda. And start making peace with one another. Spread love, not war. And I love you. And I hope all of you are having a wonderful summer. Stay cool. And I will see you in part 2. That's my son in the background. Sounds like SpongeBob.